My name's Truman. I'm a professional track sprint cyclist and I'm aiming for the Olympics. I think mobility work for the road cyclist and the commuter is really important. You spend a lot of time in a non-optimal position, sort of hunched over the bars, and I think taking time out of your day to make sure you can work on that and rectify any of those issues that have sort of built in there is going to be really important to your longevity. I think for cyclists, the number one mobility movement's got to be the hip flexor stretch. All the time you spend in a closed hip position, you're sat at a desk potentially pedalling forward and your hips never really get opened up. So I think doing a deep hip flexor stretch and holding it is going to be really, really helpful for injury prevention and for flexibility, and obviously when you come to the gym you want to be able to move optimally. Multiple times a week you'd want to put that in. Maybe even sort of do some foam rolling on it first to loosen up the fascia before you sort of get into a stretch. Probably it'd be a daily thing for me, is making sure my hip flexors are loose. So I always do a neural floss through my shoulder after every ride. If you think about the weight that you've got on your hands and your shoulders when you're spending hours on the bike, it's going to add up. So flossing is basically moving the nerve through its range of motion. Being able to sort of neurally floss the nerves coming into your arms and getting the nerve root for your vertebrae moving well is going to be really important. So I think number 3 would be an ankle distraction. If you're looking at your longevity, then ankle is definitely something you'd want to look at. So we do a lot of pedaling on the bike, and your ankle's doing a lot of reps. If you look at every pedal rep as a rep. So I think being able to get some looseness in that ankle is going to be really good for your pedaling efficiency. Being able to have no negative torque on the bike and always being able to put positive power through. And also looking at mobility in the ankle is obviously going to be really beneficial for when you're squatting, because you need to get your knees over your toes and remain an upright torso. And if you do a lot of hours on the bike, it can easily get too stiff through your ankles. So I think having a little bit of time at that would be useful.